Hey everyone, welcome back to Bookworm Paradise. If you're new here, I'm Bookworm Paradise, your go-to source for all things bookish. Today, we're diving into a novel that's as provocative as it is poignant, Katherine Min's The Fetishist. This posthumously published gem has been making waves in the literary world, and for good reason. So grab your favorite drink, settle in, and let's get into it. So, The Fetishist by Katherine Min. Where do I even begin? This novel is a wild ride that tackles some pretty heavy themes, but it does so with a touch of humor and a lot of heart. It's a story about race, desire, and the complexities of human relationships, all wrapped up in a compelling narrative that keeps you hooked from start to finish. Let's start with the basics. The novel follows three main characters, Kyoko Tokugawa, Daniel Carmody, and Alma Lee. Kyoko is a 23-year-old Japanese-American punk rock singer who's on a mission to get revenge on Daniel. Daniel is an Irish-American violinist with a history of fetishizing Asian women, including Alma, a Korean-American cello prodigy, and the love of his life. First up, we have Kyoko. She's this fiery, punk rocker who's fueled by rage and grief. Her mother, Emmy, was one of Daniel's many conquests, and Kyoko blames him for her mother's tragic suicide. She's a complex character, driven by a mix of hatred and a need for closure. Throughout the novel, we see her plan this wild scheme to kidnap and possibly kill Daniel, which, of course, doesn't go as planned. Next, there's Daniel Carmody. He's the titular fetishist of the story. Daniel's character is deeply flawed. He has this history of objectifying Asian women, and he's never really confronted the damage he's done. When we meet him, he's washed up and leading a string quartet called Thanatos, which, fun fact, serenades the wealthy as they die. Talk about dark humor. And finally, Alma Lee. Alma is perhaps the most tragic figure in the story. She's a former cello prodigy now grappling with late-stage multiple sclerosis, making it impossible for her to play. Her relationship with Daniel was filled with love and turmoil, and she's left wondering if she was ever truly loved, or just another object of fetish. The novel kicks off with Kyoko's revenge plot, but it's so much more than a simple revenge story. As Kyoko's plan unfolds, we delve deep into the tangled web of racism, desire, and self-identity. Katherine Min does an incredible job of exploring these themes with a nuanced touch. What makes this book stand out is how it handles the theme of fetishization. Min doesn't shy away from the uncomfortable truths about how Asian women are often objectified. She presents this through the lens of her character's experiences, making it personal and painfully real. For instance, Alma's journey is heart-wrenching. She reflects on her past relationship with Daniel, realizing how deeply embedded racism was in their dynamic. It's a brutal awakening, but it's written with such sensitivity and insight. You can't help but feel for her. Now, let's talk a bit about Katherine Min. Sadly, Min passed away in 2019, but her legacy lives on through her writing. The Fetishist was actually finished a decade before it was published, and it's amazing how prescient it is, especially given the recent surge in discussions about anti-Asian racism and representation. Min had a knack for blending dark themes with humor, and this book is no exception. There's a scene where Kyoko's kidnapping plot turns into a slapstick comedy of errors. It's intense, it's funny, and it's tragic all at once. Min's ability to balance these tones is what makes her writing so compelling. So, what can you expect from The Fetishist? It's a roller coaster of emotions. You'll laugh, you'll cry, and you'll definitely think. It's a book that challenges you to confront uncomfortable truths while also offering moments of levity and hope. If you're looking for a read that dives deep into issues of race, identity, and desire, this is the book for you. And even if those themes aren't your usual cup of tea, the storytelling alone is worth the ride.